Hi, welcome. Simon here, and I hope you're doing well. In this video, I'll walk you through step by step on how to do a battery replacement on a MacBook Pro. It is a full assembly, meaning that the keyboard comes with, meaning that the battery comes with the keyboard, the trackpad, and the palm rest. This is what we call the palm rest, where you rest the palm on top. It's a full entire set, meaning that the entire bottom part is a full assembly. All right. I know some of you may disagree with me that you guys just would change the battery itself rather than changing the whole thing. I totally agree with you. I understand your concept, but in my experience, removing the battery, especially the battery that is broken or swollen, meaning that it is very difficult to do it because Apple, the double-sided adhesive the battery onto the base, and it is very difficult to remove, and you don't have room to work around it. So I prefer to transfer the motherboard over and as well as just replace the whole thing. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let me show you the model number here. This is the MacBook Pro A1708. And you do need to have a Pentalope P5 screwdriver. This Pentalope P5 is to remove the back cover. Make sure that when you remove the screws, you want to lay out on the table accordingly so that you know which screw would go back to which location after. I do not want you to jumble up all the screws and later on you mix match that screws. Alright, once you're done using the P5 Pentalope screwdriver, removing all the screws, the next step is to pop open the back cover. See if I can remove it. Okay, so what you can do is to pop it on the side, because the back cover here is clip-on both sides of the laptop. You need to pop it open. Once you pop it on both sides, you want to slide it down. Okay, slide this thing down to remove it. Okay, so this is the thing that slides in and slides out. Okay, so once you're done with that process, the next step is to disconnect the battery. Okay, so there is the plastic cover here. You need to kind of remove that. There's a little tape right there. Flip it that open. Get yourself a plastic prying tool. Open up the clipper. Flip the clipper open. Slide a cable to your left to remove it. Get yourself a T4 screwdriver. Remove this screw here. This is for the battery, so remove that. Okay, once the battery is disconnected, the next step I like to do is to get yourself a T4 screwdriver. We're going to start stripping out all the screws, including the motherboard, and transfer over. Okay, so a lot of doing, less talking. T4, we're going to remove the screen first. What I suggest you to do is, before you start removing all the screws, you might want to take a picture and then print out that picture so that each time when you remove the screws, put it on that picture on the paper so you know where it's going to go after. Because a lot of time when you guys remove the screws, sometimes the screw fell off the table, or sometimes you mix match the screws, then you have hard time to put them back together. Okay, so I just removed 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom, 5, 6. Sorry, 6 at the bottom. This 2 right here has a bracket. Okay, now I'm removing 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the third one, and this is the fourth one. Okay, and then I'm going to remove these 2 screws. as well as the bracket. And I go ahead and disconnect the cable just by lifting it up. They're just like Lego, snap on, lift it up, remove. So what happened so far, we have removed the LCD board. Okay, the LCD screen board right there. That's the board of it. One screw that is for the Wi-Fi. You want to lift up the cable, just lift it straight up. Okay. Next step, Pentalope P5 is 0.8. That is the screwdriver. We are going to remove all this tiny little screw. I might have to use a different, yeah, same, but it's a different screwdriver. I think I stripped that screw the other day, so that screw is just gone. The screwdriver is just no good anymore. Thank God I have a replacement of this. This job is not easy, just so you know. You're pretty much stripping everything and transferred it to another keyboard. So pretty much you are doing the entire teardown, disassemble everything, and then move it over. So it's kind of a pain, but take your time, do things one at a time, and you should be fine. So a recap, Pentalope P5 0.8. That's the size of it. I just removed all the screws. That's for your Wi-Fi antenna. Right now I'm removing 2 screws here just to remove the bracket. This is the hinge bracket. This covering up the LCD hinge. Okay, once I have done that process, I'm using a T8. This is a T8 screwdriver. Let's go ahead and remove the 3 screws. That is actually for your LCD screen. Alright, once you have done that process, we are going to remove the Wi-Fi antenna. That is your Wi-Fi antenna, and slide this thing down. Okay, once you have done that process, we are going to disconnect the LCD away from the keyboard. So go ahead and open up the LCD screen. You're going to push it all the way to the back, and then going to slide it out. Okay, so slide it out one side and the other side on that side. Okay, once you have removed, the entire screen would just come right off. At this point here, we are going to put the screen on the side, and I want to start disconnecting some of the cables here. We are going to transfer it over to the other keyboard. So remove using a T4 screwdriver. Just lift the cable straight up. There's a cable right here. Okay, the plastic, open it up, flip open that clipper and slide that cable down towards your body. There's another cable right here. Open up the connector, slide the cable down towards the body. Okay, I'm starting removing the screws. These are the motherboard screws. There's another cable right here. Open up the clipper. Slide the cable down. All right, that's the motherboard. So this is the old keyboard with the bad battery on it. I'll be replacing with this one here. Okay. So make sure you have the cable sitting on top of the motherboard, so flip it up. Okay, make sure they're all exposed. Now you want to slide that motherboard to your right. Make sure that USB-C is in first. This cable is up. This cable is on top of it. Okay, coming back down. The two more cables on this side. And that should do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the motherboard back together. There are 5 screws. Okay, once you have done that process, I'm going to reconnect all the cables. So you just have to slide it back in like a reverse process, how you remove it by sliding down. So to install, just slide back up by pushing it back in, and then make sure you close that little clipper and put the tape down. All right, so that is for that. And this one start first. Let's go ahead and do that part. Clipper is up. You can use that little tape to put it in so that you can have a tight and snug it all the way in. It's just about patience. It's not about speed. It's not about your force to it. It's just about getting it right. Okay, so that would be done. Put the bracket back on. Two screws holding down the bracket, so make sure you have it back on here. Make sure that cable is connected. Reconnect this one right there. The screw on the top is a lot longer. And the screw at the bottom is shorter. And there's one screw here holding down the heatsink on the top left corner. Okay, that should do it. Now the next step is to reconnect the screen. So make sure that that LCD board and the cable is going to go on top of that motherboard there. So if you're having the hinge open at 90-degree angle, holding straight up and slide it in the corner on both sides. Okay, double check, make sure that all the cables are sitting above the laptop. Great. Okay, now what you want to do is to get one of the hinge lock on both sides. So get your one screw. Okay, T8, screwed it in. So what I'm doing right now is to making sure that I can close the screen and I can continue working on it. So there's one screw holding down the hinge is to close it down. Okay, that's pretty much done. I mean, not done, we still have a lot more to do, but we are halfway through the process. If you're still following so far, and can you please pause the video, go ahead and smash the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe. If you have any question regarding about the repair, comment below. I do read your questions in the comment. Yep, that's what I hope you can do for me, is to like and subscribe. Okay, please smash the like button. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is having the Wi-Fi antenna sticking through that little hole right there. You're going to stick it through it. Okay, and then just press it down. So what I like to do next is to put that 4 screws. That 4 screws are holding down the LCD board. Okay, it holds on the LCD board plus the Wi-Fi. Okay, 1, 2. There's a third one and the fourth. Okay, once you're done with that process, you can go ahead and put that hinge clipper back down. This is the plastic hinge. Put it back in, and 2 screws that to hold on to that, right? So T4 again, 2 screws. Alright, so here's the fun part. Tiny little screw that holds down the Wi-Fi. There's a bunch of them, so you might want to fast forward the video if you like at this moment. I'm just going to put all the screws back in. Again, this is a P2 0.8. That is the size of that screwdriver, okay? P2, Pentalope P2 0.8. You don't have to tighten all the way. I mean, as long as it's tight enough is good, but you don't have to really squeeze it in, because they are so tiny. The next time when you try to remove it, it might be a challenge. So just enough to hold on to the Wi-Fi antenna, which I think is overkill by that many screws just for the Wi-Fi antenna. So Anyway, if you miss 1 or 2 screws, no big deal. The Wi-Fi antenna is not going to drop the signal or anything like that. It's just to hold on to it, okay? In fact, you can get by with just 4 screws or 2 screws. Anyway, make sure you reconnect that cable, your LCD cable. This thing is for that, okay? T4. Oh no, it's giving me some problem here. Don't feel bad if you have a challenge by putting the screw back in. I'm having a challenge too, so alright, so for this one here, what you want to do is you just have to flip it backwards and tug it in. So pretty much what you want to do is like this clipper right there, you want to flip it down and then tuck it in. So flip it back down and then tuck in, okay? We are almost there. So right now we have 4 screws holding down this black bracket right here. Okay, the next step is the Wi-Fi. You just have to align the circle on top of that connector. Gently push it down. You don't have to force it in. Make sure you're not forcing that thing in, because I do not want you to bend the circle or the connector. So all you have to do, make sure you align in a position, then just gently give a little push and that thing should snap back in. Okay, the next step is the final screw for the battery. And then slide that cable back to your right. Make sure the connector is open. Push it all the way in. Push down the clipper. That is pretty much it. So congratulations if you have followed me so far and able to do it at this point here. You're pretty much close to done. The next step is to slide this thing in the back cover, just slide it in. Okay, push it on both sides the corner. You hear the little click, and that should do it. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Now the computer needs to be plugged into the charger. That is the little secret. I know that you just replace the battery, you feel like, hey, I can turn it on because it's gonna run on the battery. The answer is no. The computer will not turn on unless you plug in your charger. So go ahead and plug it in, and while the computer is turning on, you know what to do is to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Now if you have any question regarding about the repair, please feel free to comment below. I do reach a comment, and I'll answer you through the comments. Now again, if you're not sure where to buy the tools or the replacement parts, please go ahead and check out the description down below. I'll list it to Amazon or eBay, where you can find the replacements, battery, the keyboard or whatnot down below, and the tools. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye now.